There are few things in this life more sacred than a word given. Not because it's loud, not because it's notarized, but because it is the clearest measure of the man who gives it. When you say you will do something, however small, you are not just making a plan. You are building the floor on which others will stand. And perhaps more importantly, you are building the floor beneath your own feet. You are telling the world and your own soul, this is what I am. This is who I am. This is the shape I hold when no one is looking. And if that floor starts to crack, if you speak lightly, break your promises, or fail to show up where you said you would, then that shape begins to slip. Not all at once, not with fireworks, quietly. And over time, you will find that you can no longer walk tall, not because the world has judged you, but because you know what you are standing on. Keeping your word is not about being perfect. It's about being true. And truth, despite what anyone tells you, is not just something you speak, it is something you do. It is made visible in the keeping of small things. You show up when you say you will. You repay what you owe. You follow through. You make right what went wrong, even if it costs you, especially if it costs you. And if you can't, if something changes or you fail, you own it quickly, honestly, humbly. Because the soul knows when you lie, even when no one else does. There's a cost to breaking your word, and it's deeper than people's disappointment. Every time you don't follow through, every time you say something with no intention of honoring it, something in you frays. The fabric weakens, the lines blur, and eventually you start believing your own empty promises. You say you'll change, you say you'll show up, you say you'll call, and you may even mean it at the moment, but inside something's gone quiet. The voice that used to hold you accountable no longer speaks up. That's what happens when you stop taking yourself seriously. You stop believing yourself. And when that happens, you don't just lose trust from others. You lose your own trust. That's a dangerous place to be. Because if you don't believe your own words, you begin to drift. You make plans you don't keep. You dream dreams you don't build. You speak truths you don't live. You become noise. And worse, you may begin to think everyone else is just like you. That's what taking advantage of someone does to you. It's not just harm to them, it's corruption to you. The part of you that should have said, don't do this, that should have stood up in the name of fairness or decency, that part goes quiet next time, and quieter the time after that. And before long, you can justify anything. Your conscience has become an employee on salary, trained to look the other way. But the soul remembers, always, even if you get away with it. Especially then, repaying a debt, whether money, help, forgiveness, or kindness, is not about evening the scales. It's about honoring the bridge that was built to you. When someone helps you, when they carry you through something, when they lend you strength they didn't owe you, that is sacred. And you are marked by how you respond to that. When you don't repay a debt, when you ghost the one who gave, or pretend you don't owe, it may seem like you've moved on, but part of your character stays behind, trapped in that unclosed loop. That debt becomes a weight you carry, whether you admit it or not. Unpaid debts follow us, not because someone's chasing us down, but because we know, we always know. So why speak the truth? Why be the one who does what they say, even when it costs? Why hold your word like it's made of stone and not smoke? Because that is the only way to live with integrity. And I don't mean moral superiority, I mean wholeness, unity, a straight line from your mouth to your feet. The man who speaks the truth and keeps his word is rare, yes, but he is solid. You can lean on him. Others can lean on him. He can lean on himself. He may not be flashy. He may not be the loudest in the room, but when he speaks, the room listens. And when he walks away, he walks in peace. Because he has nothing to hide, nothing to chase, and nothing chasing him. That is what's at stake. Not reputation, but your own soul,